Time now for your forewarned weather.
Okay, Seth, we've talked about that a lot this week, and we know this continues to be one to watch.
Yeah, luckily it is starting to move on out. It is going to impact some portions of Canada. And like you said, the riptides are something that we definitely need to worry about, but it is now a post-tropical cyclone. The winds have died down, and it is moving on to the northeast. As you can see there, is just downgraded a couple of hours ago. As we take a look outside, this is our Black Desert Sky Cam down in Ivins. You notice the ominous clouds. We do have some rain down there in southern Utah, and we also have an excessive heat warning in southern Utah. Luckily, the clouds providing a little bit of shade, but lower Washington County from Zion through Hurricane and Tocqueville all the way into the St. George Metro. That's going to be in effect until 9 p.m. tonight, and that's thanks to temperatures around 108, getting close to that 110 mark, not quite hitting it though. Temperatures right now are starting to cool down in the southwest corner of the state thanks to that cloud cover, but it's still very hot at 104. We got 90s down I-15, 94 in Cedar City, 96 degrees here in Salt Lake. Then we got some 80s in southwest Wyoming and 77 degrees in Price. Those temperatures are dropping pretty quickly, and that's because they have seen multiple rounds of wet weather. You can see that here. I'll step out of the way so that you can really take a good look at that. Multiple bands of rain in this shot alone. We have wet pavement there. Temperatures are dropping as that rain pulls that cooler air aloft, that upstairs air, bringing it downstairs, cooling things down. Our forewarned radar shows that we do have those showers over Castle Country and over into Green River. Not seriously heavy rainfall, but we do have some spots of moderate rain. You can see that here just east of Green River, and there is some lightning embedded in this. It's not quite over yet, but it is starting to lose a little bit of steam. As we bring it over to the West Desert, we do have a cell just south of Wendover. That's moving west-northwest. Is heading towards the Wasatch Front, but we are going to be losing daytime heating over the next couple of hours, so I think it's going to leave a lot of that precipitation behind. I do have my eye on this little guy right here that could be impacting Ganola, maybe even the southern end of Provo, Spanish Fork, but it's just going to be a drizzle. And then down in southern Utah, we do have some activity in the south central portion of the state, in Kane County particularly. And then we do have a new cell here that's been developing over the last few minutes, and a flash flood warning in effect for south central Kane County. That's going to be in effect until 7:15 tonight. Now, you do want to stay in higher terrain if you're in these areas, even if it's not raining overhead, because that water can travel downstream and cause some serious issues very quickly. And we are going to keep our eye on that. It is still raining in that area. They've had up to a 3/4 of an inch, possibly more already. That was issued a while ago, and it is still in effect. So we're going to keep our eye on that. We could get a couple of more. The flash flooding risk is possible for all of our outdoor recreation areas today and into tomorrow. But by Sunday, that flash flood potential continues to increase, becoming more widespread and probable for south central and southwestern Utah, possible for the southeastern parts of the state. So it would be wise to reschedule if you do have any plans in those outdoor recreation areas. Things could turn ugly pretty quickly. Our futurecast walks us through the next little bit here. By 6 o'clock, we do have a couple of showers towards the southwest portion of the state. And then there's that cell that I was talking about that could be hitting the south end of Provo and Spanish Fork. Starts to die down overnight, but it'll pick right back up with the heat of the day. It's going to be hugging the spine of the state in southwest Utah initially, making its way up I-15 and through the West Desert, eventually impacting the Wasatch Front. This particular model doesn't like it along the Wasatch Front that well, but I do still think that we will see some because other models do like it. And then as we get into Monday, that's going to start to become even more widespread. Our upper level futurecast shows the big picture here. We have high pressure sliding to the east. That's that Four Corners high that brings the monsoon moisture, and storms are going to become more scattered by the end of the weekend. Scattered thunderstorms are going to hold on to kick off the work week, and then we have a low pressure system that'll be skimming us. That'll provide a little bit of extra lift, tapping into that moisture and keeping scattered thunderstorms in place through the middle of the week. And then it starts to become a little more isolated in nature at the back half of the work week. And then high pressure starts to build on Friday, which will start to dry things out a little bit, but we will still have moisture present. As for tomorrow, temperatures are going to be in the 90s, fairly similar to where they were today, low to mid 90s for most of us, and thunderstorms are expected for the vast majority of the state, a couple triple digits as well. 103 in St. George, not quite as hot as it was today, but still very hot. do want to stay hydrated. Now, temperatures are going to stay in the triple digits into Sunday. Scattered thunderstorms are expected Saturday all the way through Wednesday, becoming a little more isolated. Temperatures dropping into the low 90s, maybe even upper 80s by your Wednesday. The Wasatch Front also looking at thunderstorms, a little bit isolated, but becoming more scattered in nature. Temperatures dropping all the way into the 80s, so plenty of moisture on the way.